Well, let me ask you, talking about clarity, and this is maybe a philosophical, sort of broader policy perspective. I think that there is a common view that your office is using all available means effectively to keep crypto out of the mainstream financial system through enforcement, accounting rules, inspections. Clearly, there's not real guidance yet on custody. And this may very well be a reasonable policy choice, if that's the choice. The question is, if that's the choice, why not just say it publicly?
What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. So yes, that's right. The answer to the question that Gary Gensler had on CNBC is at the end of this video. In today's video, though, you will see that even just this morning, the Bitcoin price has pushed even lower due to this aftermath of what happened yesterday with the SEC cracking down on Kraken due to the fact that they were apparently offering these unregistered securities in the form of earned products to their customers, right? We've already seen an issue with Gemini, and now potentially they may be going after the stablecoin issuers. Now, you'll notice also, if we have a look, we were putting in this uptrend where we had higher highs and higher lows, and now you're noticing that we're actually starting to put in a downtrend. We broke this major level right here, and we are putting in lower highs and lower lows. So how bad really is this for price action? Well, I do want to talk about something, because there's something that I'm actually going to say at the end of this video that I kind of can't believe I'm going to say. It's something that I normally would not feel based on the circumstances, but I have to be honest with you guys, and I know this sounds very typical Bitcoin moon boy to say, but I actually think that everything that's going on in crypto right now, although it seems extremely bearish right now, I actually think it's incredibly bullish. And I'm going to tell you why at the end of this video. So I do want to go over what is going on. There are some key levels right here. We are approaching a very important level to pay attention to. And of course, the bigger question that most people are asking is, did we really start that bull run, or was it just a giant bull trap? So of course, if that sounds good to you, you guys know what to do. Make sure you stick around to the end for that interview with Gary Gensler and of course my opinion. And yeah, it is Friday, so enjoy the weekend. Try not to, get stuck looking at the phone all day. And if you are new to the channel, thank you so much. There's been so many new people joining the community lately. I love to see you guys. You're awesome. Make sure you check out the free Telegram group. Get subscribed on all of my different socials. I've been very active on Twitter lately. I'm over on Instagram. You guys know all that different stuff. So let's hop in. Let's have a look at the chart. So as I've been telling you guys, we are now in this, and also we were talking, by the way, just to point out, I've been literally talking about this for a while. You can't say that there wasn't some kind of a warning. We were seeing this whale distribution up here, and there is this old saying, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news, right? And oftentimes the news tends to coincide with what's happening, almost to sort of justify why we're seeing the price action. I do believe there is a lot of insider trading in both crypto and in the traditional markets, but nevertheless, I do have a long-term bullish bias on Bitcoin and crypto as well. But even yesterday, you'll notice that the S&P fell as well as Bitcoin. So it's like, it was just a bad day all around, right? Almost as if it was planned, but we'll save the conspiracies for another video. You guys know I have plenty of those, but let's dive in. Let's have a look at what's happening right now in the chart. So yes, we are still on this downwards trend. We did see this. Now, if you guys are looking for the next major trend, whether you want to look to make a long or make a short, I would wait for some kind of a confirmation, because we do have some key levels to pay attention to, but because we just had that trend shift, right? We did just shift downwards. I do want to wait until we either see, some kind of lower connective momentum wave to the upside here, which would say we could long, or get another wave, basically wait for this wave to come back up to the top and then, connect that down for a next big short. Right now, you're kind of playing with fire because we did just have that volatile move, right? Having a look right here, though, I've been saying over and over and over again that we do have a CME futures gap. This should come at no surprise to you that the price is pulling back. And I wasn't trying to be Mr. Bear. I just, I know that these things get filled. So here we go right here, 19.9. And, we still have this upward sloping trend. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Bitcoin below $20,000 again, getting right around that $19,900 area to close that. And also, just to reiterate, one thing I wanted to point out too is even though, yes, we did break out of this downwards trend, and yes, this is a giant falling wedge pattern, we never actually had confirmation on a larger time frame, right? We might have had a few 4-hour little taps, but we never had any major touch right here, you know? So what you want to see is this trend line, right, that was acting as resistance. What you want to see is come down here, and we don't have to come straight down. Even if we come over something like this, you know, we can even come back into this blue zone, retest it as support, and then break out, right? As long as we keep this upward sloping trend, then I'm pretty good. And the other thing too is if you have a look at this daily, yes, we did in fact have that cross. We did have the golden cross. So really, realistically, if you just have a look, pay attention to the pink line. The yellow is the 50, which is important. It is important, but the 50 is more short term. You know, like you can see right here, we fell below it. But ultimately, you know, once we stay above the 200 daily, you can see this pink line, we stay above it for a very long time. So currently right here, what you want to do is you really just want to be mostly supported by this pink line, right? So obviously it's going to move up over time. Right now it's sitting at around 19,723, right? So if we went down to 19,723, we would still be above the 200 daily. We would still have closed the CME futures gap, and we still would be putting in a higher low. That's what I need to see. But we still have this triple threat, right? The death cross plus the two major downward sloping, this trend and this horizontal. So, you know, again, guys, ultimately, I wouldn't want to see Bitcoin. If Bitcoin fell straight down to 1,700, that wouldn't be that great. Although, you know, theoretically, we would still be on an uptrend. But as I said, it wouldn't be impossible to see Bitcoin, you know, bounce around here in this apex. And, you know, that could take us all the way until summer. I know that's not what you'd want to hear, but what if Bitcoin just bounced around here until around July of this year, consolidating before we had that major breakout, right? That's a possibility as well. And we would still be above the major trend. So just to point that out, and not only to mention, but you know, that would actually form a bit of a diamond reversal pattern, and it would be a lot more healthy for the market. So don't get too discouraged, guys. Like I said, that move was a little bit too fast, a little bit too exuberant. And you know, coming back here, what did we do the last time that we had a crazy move, right? We came all the way up to 14K, never broke the previous high, only to then consolidate downwards in an ascending broadening wedge, pretty much from June of 2019 all the way down until the COVID crash, right? So that was, you know, almost a year of sideways consolidation. It was like 9 months or something. So, you know, it's okay. This happens in markets, guys. Of course, if you guys do want to learn how to trade, basically just follow the channel. I mean, you know, we've been giving out those warning signs. We've been giving out those levels. We knew we were looking for a pullback. Convenient that the news came out exactly when we just happened to see whale manipulation, exactly when we're seeing the charts telling us to be careful. We never even got up to the $25,000 level, which shows me now that we are putting in that lower high. So we are still in consolidation period. And the other thing to pay attention to is this DXY right here. The DXY is currently sitting on its 50, okay? So the 50, as you can see, has been holding it down. So keep an eye for that breakout. If it does have that breakout, you may see potential further downside for Bitcoin and crypto. But that's basically the quick analysis today, guys. Don't make any harsh decisions. It is the weekend. We did just have a crazy move. Be careful. Like I said, going back, let's wait for some of those confirmations over here on the wave edge and the market cipher. Okay, I'm looking at both of them together, and I'm waiting to see that confluence so that I have clear momentum shift. And right now, you know, you could see the momentum shift right here. We have the cash flow coming out. We have RSI oversold, and we have the wave edge completing the wave. They're both going down right now. They're both showing money flowing out, okay, on top of the fact that we saw the whale manipulation. So that's just what I'm seeing right now. It's not my opinion. Don't hate the messenger. This is just what the charts are telling me. So if you guys do want to trade, remember, I do have like tons of bonuses below. You guys know, check it out. Take advantage. You know, I was thinking about putting out a course, but no, I don't want to charge money for it. I really don't. It's just a matter of do I want to take the time to make a full course? I mean, I go over this stuff every day. I would love to just give you guys an absolutely free course. Like, I'm serious. Like, I don't want to charge money for it because a lot of people say that it would help them, but just get subscribed. You know, we go over this stuff every single day anyway. So anyway, guys, let's move on and let's talk about the situation at hand, okay? There is a negative side to this and there is a potential positive side to this. And as I said, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it potentially. We're going to get to that. The U.S. government, according to Nick Carter, this was in his, if you guys remember yesterday, he says the U.S. government is using the banking sector to organize a sophisticated, widespread crackdown against the crypto industry. The administration's efforts are no secret. They have expressed plainly in their memos, regulatory guidance, and their blog posts as well. However, the breadth of this plan, spanning virtually every financial regulator as well as its highly coordinated nature, has even the most steely-eyed crypto veterans nervous that crypto businesses might end up completely unbanked, right? So going back to the beginning, if you guys just don't want it, just come out and say it. Why are you playing games, right? Stablecoins may be stranded and unable to manage flows in and out of crypto, and exchanges might be shut off from the banking system entirely. Such a move would be a huge mistake from a U.S. perspective, according to Marcus Sortiro, the market analyst at brokerage Global Block. He says, as it would result in the rest of the world getting ahead in the important crypto and blockchain technology revolution. I agree. The more you crack down on it, the less clear you are, the more gray areas there are, the more you make it difficult to operate, the more you're going to push emerging businesses and opportunities into other places. And, I am here in the US, but I have to be honest with you, if it gets bad enough, I don't want to do it. I don't want to move, but if I have to, come on, guys, get with it right here. So the Biden administration has said Congress needs to step up its efforts to regulate the Bitcoin and crypto market, warning it could be a grave mistake to allow ties between cryptocurrencies and the broader financial systems to deepen amid warnings of a global financial meltdown. Now, Brian Armstrong, the CEO, has come out and said, we will keep fighting for economic freedom. Our mission at Coinbase, although I'm not a huge fan of Coinbase has pretty much, they didn't terminate my account, but they basically have made it impossible for me to use my account due to the documents that they're requiring, which they know that don't exist. They should know this, they're in crypto. Okay, anyway, but doesn't matter. I digress. That's my problem. Some days being the most trusted brand in crypto means protecting our customers from government overreach. Now, this is weird. So trust nodes, and you can't see it right now. It says page not found. The name of this article in my browser, you can't see this, but it says Coinbase to fight SEC in court over staking. Now this article has been removed. So I don't know if they had some information and then they didn't want it to be public, but there could be that assumption that, based on this tweet, Brian Armstrong is going to push back. They are going to fight. And, when you look historically and you look at sort of the U.S. and how the U.S. was founded, it came from pushing back almost against the government, right? Fighting against the tyranny and the oppression of the people. But it seems like lately in 2022, 2023, we kind of just lay back and let them do whatever to us, right? So it is nice to see Brian Armstrong, regardless of how you feel about him, it is nice to see someone at least standing up for the space for crypto. Now, this is interesting. Hester Pierce is actually a commissioner of the SEC. So she's a part of the SEC, and she has written this letter. And you can actually see this. This is literally a posted letter on the SEC website. She says, today the SEC shut down Kraken staking program and counted it as a win for investors. She said, I disagree, and therefore I dissent. Kraken operated a service through which its customers could offer their tokens up for staking, and in return, the customers got returns and the company took a fee. Seems fair, right? Using enforcement actions to tell people what the law is in an emerging industry is not an efficient or fair way of regulating. Moreover, staking services are not uniform, so one-off enforcement actions and cookie cutter analysis does not cut it. Most concerning, though, is that our solution to a registration violation is to shut down entirely a program that has served people well. This program will no longer be available in the United States, and Kraken is enjoined from ever offering a staking service in the US, registered or not. Well, that seems a little harsh, don't you think? A paternalistic and lazy regulator settles on a solution like that one in this settlement. Do not initiate a public process to develop a workable registration process that provides valuable information to investors. Just simply shut them down. So that's our crypto mom right there, Hester Pierce. She disagrees. Now, Jesse Powell, actually mentioned over here. He said, "Thank you. Some guidance would in fact be appreciated. This is wrong, but I won't tell you how to do it right. Want to find out if X works? Try it and see what happens" approach does not help the industry nor the consumers. We aren't anti-regulation, but we need a clear path to operate, right? And this is what I was saying in yesterday's video. It almost seems like they want to keep the area gray. Because if they come out with the official regulation, if they come out with official black and white documentation, well, then we know what they have jurisdiction and what they don't have jurisdiction over, right? And then they're unable to manipulate it the way that they want, right? So that's sort of the approach that we've been looking at it recently. And Gary Gensler has come out and says the SEC and the agency has taken action against Kraken, and this should put people and other industry players on notice. Those other platforms should take note of this and seek to come into compliance. So this brings us back essentially to the beginning of the video, in which Andrew Ross Sorkin asks Gary Gensler, well, if you're against it, why not just simply shut it down? Or just say that you're not interested in it, or that you don't like it. This was his response.
So there's a clear way to do this, and there's forms on our website. Right. I think it's just a talking point that the industry is using. They know how to do this. They are just choosing not to do it.
Well, let me ask you, talking about clarity, and this is maybe a philosophical, sort of broader policy perspective. I think that there is a common view that your office is using all available means effectively to keep crypto out of the mainstream financial system through enforcement, accounting rules, inspections. Clearly, there's not real guidance yet on custody. And this may very well be a reasonable policy choice, if that's the choice. The question is, if that's the choice, why not just say it publicly?
We're using all available tools. We're talking directly to market participants. We take the meetings and we say, this is how you comply. There's a handful of tokens that have actually registered. The intermediaries, the storefronts, if you wish, the casinos that people are investing in and investing at need to properly comply and disentangle these bundled products. The business model that they've set up is rife with conflicts. And so we've been very candid with them. I've done it in multiple speeches since I came to the agency. We'll continue to engage. We're technology neutral. But if this field has any chance of survival and success, it's time-tested rules and laws to protect the investing public. Disclosure, full, fair, and truthful disclosure. Address conflicts and disaggregate these bundled businesses, and don't have your hand in the customer's pocket using their funds or your own platform.
Now, let's not kid ourselves. We know that all of these guys are insiders. They all have each other's back. I don't know why, but Ponzi is trending in politics as a side note, and the SEC. But nevertheless, you have to listen to what Gary said here. Now, whether or not we agree or disagree, whether or not you believe in full-on libertarianism or you do think crypto should be regulated, the way that Gary actually worded this, and this is the part that I cannot believe I'm saying, arguably, for the United States could potentially be bullish if there was some clear guidelines and these entities or these corporations or these exchanges did play fairly. Now, I just want to say something. Before you guys start attacking me, I still wholeheartedly do not believe that decentralization, Bitcoin, whatever, needs any regulation. And that's the thing. You can always set up an Ethereum node. It's complicated. It's a little bit difficult, but you could do it. You can self-custody your Bitcoin. You can use decentralized exchanges. These are all options that we have, right? But if you want that bigger, broader adoption, you want these big funds, you want these big hedge funds, you want these sovereign wealth funds to come in, okay? They are not going to touch crypto with a 10-foot pole unless they have this type of regulation, unless they have this type of clarity, okay? So in a sense, if you do want to have a business in the US, then you need to adhere to some of these same laws if you want to offer products, right? That being said, I also think that Gary and friends need to make it clearer, right? It's kind of like with the IRS. It's like, well, what do I owe you? Well, that's for you to figure out. Well, what about if I figure it out wrong? Straight to jail, right? Wait, can you help me? Can you give me some guidance on this, right? I mean, tax guidance in crypto is crazy. You wouldn't believe the amount of trouble I have to go through just to be compliant. Like literally, like it's crazy what these guys want. But hey, it's what you got to do, right? But if they were just clearer, if they just provided more guidance and stopped playing these gray areas. But this all boils down to the sad truth of the situation, and I could not have said it better than Jenny QT Web3 VC. As she states, and as we said in yesterday's video, this might sound tough to swallow, but the SEC operates without tax dollars. Its budget is funded by fees paid through registering security offerings, reporting requirements, and fines and penalties. The intention is to keep things vague in order to collect the fines and the penalties. So while I do believe that the statements that Gensler is saying about being neutral, about not taking a stance, is actually positive for those that choose to register as these centralized staking as a service entities. Keep in mind, they're not going against staking, they're going against staking as a service. But at the end of the day, will they ever make the regulation truly, truly clear? Well, as we've seen in the past, it tends to work out, unfortunately, better for them when they don't. But that leads me to this next thing. And I do want to give a shout out. I don't know if you guys ever go over to Crypto Panic. This is from Cry52. Now, I don't know who this user is, okay, because it's a obviously anonymous account, but I like this. So, at Gary Gensler, this is an opinion piece. Hey, Gary. This sends the crypto industry a message that it needs to have inside connections with you in Washington in order to get the kid glove treatment like Glenn Ellison, Caroline Ellison, Barbara Freed, Joseph Bankman, and their wonderful SBF did. I mean, the guy's still walking, isn't he? For you, it's better to screw retail in every way possible with regard to crypto because the bankers which you work for demand it from you. And to the crypto supporters. We can end this BS from TradeFi in a matter of months. Evangelize crypto harder, mentor all your friends and family, teach them, have them ask you questions, remove your assets from traditional finance entirely. This will choke their Ponzi scheme to death. Consequently, there will ultimately be no other option but crypto. Also, demand payment using crypto from your local vendors, or you will take your business elsewhere. So, interesting, right? This is something that I would love to believe in a perfect world. I just know that, unfortunately, it won't happen. And, if you had asked me 7 years ago, I would have been like, screw this, or, you could just up and move, right? You could just move to a different country. I've seen people do that. But the reality is, if you are choosing to remain here, especially if you're in the US, I don't know, I have viewers from everywhere. Some of my viewers are from all different countries. But if you are choosing to remain in the US, then, this is the way that the system has been set up here. Is it fair? No. But everybody has to play by the same rules, right? There's always going to be corruption. There's always going to be insider trading, and there's always going to be options, no matter what. For example, you can use DeFi, but here's something that happened. D-Force Protocol suffered a loss of 3.6 million. In a re-entrancy attack on Arbitrum. It was a result of a vulnerability in a smart contract function used to calculate Oracle prices when connected to Curve Finance. So, there you go. You can take the decentralized approach, but then you have to be careful because of things like this. Now, I'm not trying to advocate for central or decentralized. I'm not really taking any side. I'm just saying that I think, even though we're going through a bumpy phase right now in the US, I do believe that, hearing Gary come out and say something where we're taking a neutral stance. We're not saying ban it. We're not saying embrace it like it's the next thing since sliced bread. No, we're just saying if it exists, we would like for it to play by the same rules that things like Robinhood and traditional brokerage firms have to play by, right? So in a sense, are they giving the guidelines? Yes. But at the same time, are they lagging behind the technology? Also, yes, because you cannot use a Howey test, which is something that is 77 years old, all right, to talk about cryptocurrencies. They're a completely different animal. So I do believe that we're headed in the right direction somewhat, but there are still too many gray areas. And like, you know, going back to basically what Jesse Powell said, you know, rather than us trying to guess and figure out what happens, we would really appreciate if you just gave us clear guidance, right? We're not trying to stifle the innovation. In fact, we're on your team, but we have to learn to play together, right? So that's basically where I stand today. And I know it's a bit of a contradicting video. And I know there's people out there that are like, oh, you know, look, I love the fact that my Bitcoin is non-confiscatable and I will die with my private keys in my head. I believe in that. But I also believe that, you know, if you're going to live in a territory and, you know, do things, you know, you don't want to go against, you know, the place you live in, ultimately. I don't know. You guys getting what I'm trying to say here? Maybe I'm rambling at the end here. But ultimately, guys, that's it for me. A little bit of an interesting video. Basically, if you could take anything away from today, I think that we're still due for some tough times. I do. I don't think we're out of the woods just yet. We're definitely not out of a bear market. I know it's been an amazing move. We're not showing the signs of being out of a bear market. Yes, we had a golden cross, okay? Yes, we broke a major downtrend, but we still have not broken above the 200 weekly. You know, we still have not really had like this regulatory clarity. If you want this next bull run with all these institutions to come in, especially these big guys in the US, do we need them? No. But let's be honest, that's where the big money is. So I love you guys. You're awesome. Just with a grain of salt, everything I say is my opinion. Maybe you completely disagree with me. That's fine. That's the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of the world, right? You don't have to agree with me. I'm just a stupid guy on the internet. What do I know? This is my interpretation of the data. I'm still here. I have no interest in selling my Bitcoin hodl position. I am definitely remaining in the crypto space, and I am not afraid of what happens moving forward in the US so far. I will continue to push forward in what I believe in and speak out how I feel. And ultimately right now, I believe that Bitcoin is not decentralization. It is the protocol. It does what it does. It doesn't need regulation. But as I say, with a lot of these crypto DeFi products, especially, you know, now, you know, contracts on Ethereum, Solana, all this, you know, staking and all these other kind of things. Yes, you can do it on a node. You can do it decentralized, and that's fine. I think that's totally okay. I have no issue with that. But if these services, centralized services, entities that, you know, have corporations and have customers underneath them and they are registered, then I do believe that they should comply. And I believe that the SEC in turn and the CFTC as well should provide them with what they need so we can get this all behind us, move on. Crypto's here to stay, let's be honest, and just get on with our merry little way. So that's it for my rant, guys. You are awesome. If you stuck it out to the end, what the heck are you still doing listening to me? Go watch another YouTube video. You shouldn't even, why are you even watching me at this point? I'm just rambling on about crypto like I have been for the past 6 years. Thank you so much, guys. I love you. We are going to monitor the charts. It is the weekend. You know how I feel about weekend price action. It's a little bit crazy, a little bit wild after a big move. But we will see what happens on Monday. So thank you for coming back to the channel. If you do want to learn how to trade, I highly recommend you just check out the free video that pops up here every single day at the end of the video. Take advantage of those bonuses below. Get subscribed, and you know, maybe I'll make a course for free. Probably will. I feel like I owe it. I was going to give to the world. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for coming back. I love you. You're awesome. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Check this video out. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.